And we're live. Welcome back to another Corona Geek, here where we talk all about mobile application development using Corona SDK. I'm your host, Charles McKeever, and today it's Thanksgiving. At least it's Thanksgiving in Canada. It's Columbus Day here in the U.S.
You scared me there, man. I'm like, what? Did I miss the holiday? What?
Really screw people up,
Am
right?
I back out of it? Oh, man. I mean,
Sorry there, I didn't mean to mess you up. If you're listening to this in the car and you're like, what? Wait, what? It's Thanksgiving, and you're on your way to work.
Some people's reaction driving to like, what?
What? Yes, it's Thanksgiving in Canada, which I think is cool. I think it's cool to have Thanksgiving twice. We should. I think for next year we should do that. We'll do Thanksgiving here for Columbus Day, and then we'll do Thanksgiving, and then we'll do Christmas. And for all the people who are like, think we're already messing with the holidays, they'll be really, really thrown off. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We're going to start a brand new series of development discussion. Last week we finished up our Monsters Need Coins program or development series, which actually started off as a Gravity. What was it? It was working with Gravity or Gravity-based games, and then somewhere along the way it developed the name of Monsters Need Coins, and eventually, the project became sophisticated enough that Ed decided we needed a visual editor. So he put together a visual editor, and we went through the code last time. So if you haven't had a chance to see that, and by the way, download the code for the game and the editor, then you need to go to youtube.com/coronageek and just look back in the archive there, and everything is listed. And if you can't find the link to the code, then you can find that over at coronalabs.com/blog, where, of course, the videos are posted as well, along with all the show notes for the videos and stuff. But this is Corona Geek 163, and so if you go back 162, 161, 160, all that, you'll find it. And there's also a playlist on Corona Geek on YouTube. So I try to put those all in the playlist so they make sense, because as we go along, some of this stuff we kind of know what we're going to talk about, and then some of this stuff we make up along the way. Like the visual editor was a kind of an afterthought. And so I try to take those videos and then stick them into a playlist so that at least if you go to YouTube, you can see them all together and you don't have to fish through episode numbers. But anyway. Hey, before we get started on today's topic, which is going to be desktop game development using controllers and keyboard inputs and things like that, Ed, I want to talk about this link to the in-app ad blocking software.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I couldn't believe it. It's like we were talking about it, and then there it was.
Yeah. So for everybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, we had Dean Murphy on the show to talk about Crystal, which is an iOS 9 content blocker, which he has specifically decided to target ads, and it essentially, so it's an ad blocker, even though Apple likes to call them content blockers, which is really what they are. And anyway, so that led a discussion on blocking ads on websites. So inside of Safari on your mobile device, on your iPhone or your iPad or whatever, you can block ads, which kind of got us to thinking, well, that just sounds like in-app ads could potentially be blocked at some point, and would Apple allow that? And lo and behold, Ed sent me a link last week, where their app had been approved in the Apple App Store, and that app essentially blocks ads inside of apps. So, Ed, did you download this thing and mess with it?
No, I was just stunned, just because we'd been talking about all this, and then saying sort of nonchalantly, well, they're not going to do this. Only applies to browsers. We don't have to worry about apps. And just a week later,
did you hear that this application has been removed from App Store?
I did see a follow-up conversation that said that some apps had been removed. Apps that basically use VPN to kind of pick up on your traffic and then filter it. Those are
the application that filters ads inside other applications and games. So it was blocked because it uses VPN, and VPN can sniff all user information and stuff, so it is not secure. And Apple decided to remove it.
So basically, they just reversed their decision to leave it in the store.
They do that on occasion.
Yeah, it got past a reviewer and then got pulled.
Well, it got more attention, and finally they saw some issues and they decided to remove it.
Well, I installed it. It was called Bean Choice. I installed it, and yeah, it popped up a little VPN box at the top of my iPhone. And one of the things that I noticed right away was that I installed it, and then I did a video on it to kind of try to demonstrate it. And at that time, I said, well, I'll just disable I need to disable the plugin or whatever, or the extension. And it was not easy to disable at all. Like you would disable it, and then it would automatically turn itself back on, which was kind of disconcerting because it felt like they really, really wanted to not only filter your ads, but maybe even be a part of all your other traffic. So
be a part of your whole life.
Yeah, be a part of your whole life. And one of the things that it was a free app, and one of the things that they said was that they would actually even pay you to participate, which leads me to think, well, there's some money behind their endeavors, right? And that didn't really feel.
That's almost like phishing 2.0.
It is, right? Access. Yeah, we'll get rid of your ads. You just give us access to all your personal information.
Prince and wherever, Kenya, will pay you to use my app.
Right. Yeah, it's a little weird. So, yeah, I guess. So, Sergey, you say it's out of the store now. It's gone. I actually jumped on it for that very fact. I wanted to see what it would do, and I just felt like Apple was going to pull it, and I wanted to go ahead and I've already experienced it.
But I'm pretty sure you can still use this method if you manually set up your VPN.
Yeah, well, and what would it do in that case? I mean, how would they do the blocking? Would it just have to set up your own content blocker, or is this actually just VPN entirely?
No, it's just entirely VPN. So this application only makes automatic setup of your VPN account, and it just makes, I don't know, a button to turn it off or on, I don't know, some adjustments, some settings, and that's all. So basically, you can do it manually,
yeah.
even on a computer, on a normal computer, not on a mobile phone.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I did. I ran it. And I'll actually, I didn't publish the video because I felt like there were security implications to it, right? And I didn't want to necessarily encourage somebody to put the thing on their phone if it did in fact, have security implications. So, but now that it's been taken down, maybe I'll make a modified version of it or something. Anyway, when I ran the app, several different apps that had ads in them, what I noticed was that banner ads were gone, for sure. Interstitials, the overlays and stuff still showed, but the videos didn't show. And then if you had anything that was in-game rewards, those videos would still show, but I suspect that's only because, for whatever reason, those videos weren't being, those URLs or those services or whatever weren't a part of the blacklist or whatever they were using to block.
So they weren't necessarily whitelisted, but they weren't blacklisted. So they got
yeah. I felt like I don't know who was serving the ads in this particular app, but it was it was a catch app, and so they were monetizing it with banners, interstitials, and rewarded in-game content. And of the three, only one of them worked, and so it really was kind of like, it's very, very telling as far as what can be done inside of an app to block ads. So
I think it's kind of scary, actually.
Yeah. So, well, is it coming? Is a new iteration a more Apple-approved way coming? Who knows? I don't know.
I wonder, though. See, this not to distract here, but now that we've raised this question of VPNs and the way they implemented this, I have to wonder if Apple would have caught another application that didn't say, hey, by the way, we're blocking ads. It's like, some game that's some simple game that also has a VPN sniffer in it,
The little less high profile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Now I'm starting to think,
well, I tell you,
I don't want to give any bad guys ideas out there, but I'm sure
yeah,
they've already thought of it.
yeah. It was still very much it was still very much a manual process. I mean, I didn't really see.
I'm assuming that when you ran this,
Mhm.
if you do post that video, I'll definitely watch it. But I'm assuming that there were steps you had to say yes to certain things to make it possible.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I think in this instance there would have been a motivation.
Glad said the same thing here.
Yeah. There would have been a motivation to take the action that the app was requesting, right? So if Flappy Bird comes up and says, "Hey, we want you to enable VPN," you'd be like, "What?" Might be a little